evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants, and of course I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And gonna talk about Raw this week was in SLC, Salt Lake City. Thankfully, Heroin Bob was not harmed during the filming of this week's episode of Raw or Vicious Rants. So, let's get right into it. But before we get into it, let's pop gears, go into reverse, and talk about last week with the SmackDown Rewind. Big highlights from last week. Miz and Morrison, new #1 contenders for the SmackDown Tag Titles. They're going to go against New Day. I'm all for that. The idea of Morrison and Kofi getting a chance to go and try and do a one-up show, trying to top each other, high-flying, that's going to be cool. Otis has officially got a date with Mandy Rose, so I'm all cool. I'm cool with that because that gives me hope, because if someone like Mandy can say yes to someone like Otis, that gives me a chance. Braun Strowman is now the new Intercontinental Champion, which I am all for. A lot of people have shit on this idea, which I find funny because all those 99.9% of those people that have been shitting on it are also the same exact people that were clamoring 3 or so years ago on how Braun Strowman should beat Brock Lesnar, should be world champion, should have the Universal title, all this, that, and the other. So is it just the fact that you just wanted the title off of Brock, or did you really want Braun to have the title? This is why I got issues with that whole IWC Internet Wrestling community bullshit. Those guys will change their minds at the drop of a hat. The second they see the new shiny toy on the block, they say, fuck this, and go to the other. Yeah, fuck that. I ain't like that. Now, also, biggest highlight from last week on SmackDown, Roman Usos had a 6-man tag match against Corbin, Rude, and Ziggler, and it wound up having the stipulation loser had to eat dog food. On paper, this is something that you would just look at and be like, what the fuck? What? Who the hell booked this? But the delivery at the end, oh my god, it was so beautiful. It was worth it. If y'all ain't seen it, I highly recommend you do. You know, Corbin, the look on Corbin's face of shock, like, oh no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this. And then, boom, getting the crap kicked out of him, getting handcuffed to the ring post just like Roman was, and then getting the dog food, like this big giant bowl of it, just poured on top of him, looking like a giant turd, and just that payoff was just so beautiful, because for all the dastardly, evil, villainous like things Corbin did, he finally got his comeuppance, and that is good storytelling, and that is the true aspect of wrestling right there. You get your heroes, get their comeuppance on the villains. Now with that said, let's get into the main show. Let's get into Raw now. Starts out with Randy Orton talking about the atrocities that occurred last week, going to attack. At the end of last week's Raw, Edge came out saying he got triple fusion neck surgery, got into the best shape of his life to compete in the Royal Rumble. Randy came out, and then Randy, as cliche as it sounds, RKO out of nowhere, beat the shit out of Edge, and then hit him with a one-man concerto. And then Randy got like 2 or 3 words in, and then the crowd just started yelling, "You suck, you suck, you suck," and he was like, I can't do this. Put the mic down and walked off. Beautiful. Beautiful. Giving heat. Some people want to say, well, that was X amount of time wasted for absolutely nothing. Because Randy just laid down so much groundwork right there, saying, you know, and I don't want to use this as an example because I kind of feel like it's cliche, but it's like like a psychopath movie. You know, you got the id fighting the ego, and one wanting to show but not knowing on how to feel about what the actions that took place. You know, one being overwhelmed with joy over it, and the other being like, yeah, I shouldn't, no. Like that. And it's just, you know, and that works for Randy. But here's the thing that got me more than anything, that annoyed me more than anything. And I don't want to sound like I'm splitting hairs, and if I am sorry, because I try not to on there. But the announcers, you know, Saxton, Phillips, and Lawler all saying, oh, they can't believe Randy would do this. They couldn't believe Randy would do that. His fucking gimmick was the Legend Killer. What the hell would you expect? I mean, for crying out loud, Jake the Snake put it best. Don't trust the snake. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Texas Rattlesnake. DTA, don't trust anybody. Randy Orton, Apex Predator, the Viper. Do you see the connection? Do not trust people with snake gimmicks. Alright. Now that I'm done on that, let's get into the rest of the show. First match of the night, Lana vs. Liv Morgan, rematch from last week. Extremely short, but it was well worth it because in the end, the payoff on it, the payoff at the end of it, Liv started out, shoved Lana's, faked hurting her wrist. Lana tried getting a few shots in. Liv wound up getting the upper hand, did that springboard flatliner again, 1, 2, 3, that was it, and then we get the return of Ruby Riott. She comes out, congratulates Liv, hugs and all that, and just as they're about to go and do that, next thing you know, Ruby, wham, slams her down, walks off, just like that, like it was basically nothing. Lana comes in, picks the scraps, and then she goes off yelling on how she's the best in the world and all that. So yeah. Next up we got MoJo fucking Rawley. But there's hope. Because he's going against McIntyre, and McIntyre, very much so a man of his word, said right to MoJo, when I put this microphone down, you got 3 seconds before I claymore your head off. And then just literally kept right to that. The man didn't even take his jacket off before he did it. Kept the damn thing on the whole time. Boom, caught a claymore, 1, 2, 3, that was it. So yeah, cool to see that. Next up we got trios action in a 6-man elimination tag match. Kevin Owens and the Viking Raiders going against Buddy Murphy and the AOP. And Murphy was pretty much getting murdered right before the commercial break. Afterwards, Eric, he wound up being the punching bag for a bit until Ivar got the hot tag. He started cleaning up house, and then Eric wound up getting the tag in, started working a little, got thrown to the outside. At one point when he was on the outside, Seth, when the ref wasn't looking, hit him with a curb stomp, threw him in the ring. Next thing you know, 1, 2, 3, Eric was out. Now, Ivar got taken out because, and it wasn't even actually by a pinfall. What it was, he did a crossbody onto one of the AOP, I don't remember who, but the LED board for the ring apron was right behind him. He wound up doing that. Next thing you know, he wound up saying he was saying his shoulder was hurting, so the refs took him to the back. Whether it was legit or not, I don't know. Nothing really, no news has been said at the time of this recording. Hopefully it's nothing serious, you know, and he'll be alright, but yeah. So that left Owens against all three. So it was literally a 3-on-1 fight. Kevin Owens went against them all, and I have said time immemorial on how I feel about with handicap matches. Do not let the guy with the handicap win, because then that makes the team look stupid, saying that these 2 or 3, however many guys, couldn't beat this one man. So yeah. And, well, the way it played out, it was actually pretty decent, because as every time Owens started to build up some momentum, next thing you know, Seth's cronies, they started to stop him dead in their tracks. Until Murphy got in, he started to get a little cocky. Next thing you know, boom, Owens took him out. Next thing you know, Akam came in, and Owens took Akam out. So then it left Owens and Razor. So them two went at it one-on-one for a minute, which, fairly decent. Next thing you know, Seth got up on the apron just to distract Owens. Didn't put any hands on him or nothing. Just went to go and distract him like, hey, yo. Like that. Next thing you know, Razor, wham, hit him with not 1, but 2 spine busters. So, yeah. And then got the 1, 2, 3. That was it. So, yeah, ending like that, I am all for, because, again, it makes sense. Next matchup, we got Aleister Black versus Eric Young. Very fast-paced match, very short match. EY wound up getting his mouth busted open. You could see him spit out a wad of blood at one point. You know, and you only see it if you're looking for it. You know, but yeah. After that, next thing you know, Black cut a promo saying on how he's going to be the man he wants to be, and everyone should be on notice for it. And paraphrasing, mind you. So yeah. Next match we have Rey Mysterio going up. Now, on how this match came to be, Humberto Carrillo originally came out, and they were talking about what happened last week with Humberto, how he did that hammerlock DDT to Andrade, and then they said he's out for an undisclosed amount of time. However, the real news is Andrade had a wellness policy violation and was suspended for 30 days. So, now, with that said, the wellness policy violation, they don't disclose what it was for. It could have been because, you know, he could have taken some protein mix off of the shelf that had something that pops up on their drug screens. Or he could have missed a doc's appointment to get a drug screen. Or he actually could have been trying to get the gas. It could be 100 different things. None of us really know. So, before any of y'all out there that are throwing out shit on Andrade for that, don't. Just don't. Because keep in mind, Paige got suspended because she couldn't make it to a doctor's appointment. You know, and so, yeah, shit like that happens. Now, either way, Humberto's out there, he's about to go and speak. Next thing you know, Zelina Vega comes out and, oh, good Lord Almighty. Thank God Aleister Black doesn't watch this show, otherwise he'd kick my head off for half the shit for half of my reaction seeing Zelina. Anyways, Zelina Vega comes out and introduces Andrade's cousin, Angel Garza. So Angel Garza winds up making his Monday Night Raw debut, which is a hell of a thing to do because, while yes, he's on NXT, I'm all for that. However, he's getting more notice. He's getting more notoriety because, I'm trying to think the right way to word this. While everyone's talking about with the Wednesday Night War saying NXT versus AEW, it's not just NXT versus AEW. It's AEW against WWE, and AEW is going up against 3 different shows, just only one of them's at the same time as them. That's it. So yeah. But either way, I'm not going to spend all this episode. I could go all day on that, but I'm not gonna. Angel Garza's getting a chance to be on Raw. It's a chance for him to get more faces on there because Monday Night Raw may get the more typical, or not typical, more casual wrestling fan. Well, it's Monday night. The Super Bowl was yesterday. There's no more Monday Night Football. Oh, let's see what's on. No. Oh, Monday Night Raw, okay. And, oh, hey, who's that guy? So, yeah. Angel Garza comes out. He beats the crap out of Humberto, and as he's about to go and hit him with a hammerlock on concrete, out comes Ray to save him. So now we got Rey Mysterio against Angel Garza, and liked on how Ray was leading it and letting Garza shine. That was the big thing I absolutely loved on this match. Garza got a chance to shine. You know, guy did phenomenal work in NXT. Now he's getting a chance to shine on the big bright lights of Monday. You know, hope for nothing but the best for him. Match wound up coming to an end though. Ref threw the match out when they started brawling outside. Garza eventually took Ray over to where that exposed concrete was, and then boom, DDT'd him on it. And then the ref's just like, alright, that's it, throw it out. And then next thing you know, they started, refs and meds all started to go over to Ray. So yeah. Next up, we got women's action. We got my future third ex-wife, Asuka, going against Natayla, who, well, we've all heard. If you've watched this show long enough, you know on how I feel about Natayla. Hell of a wrestler, but honest to God, makes paint drying seem more fun. Especially, God help you, if you give her a microphone. Just no. It's almost harder to tell who's more monotone. Natayla, a phone sex operator, or the Bella twins cutting a promo. Yeah. But as far as matches go, not gonna lie, this is pretty alright. It was nice, snug. There was some decent back and forth. Kind of chuckled on how, you know, kind of looked like at first Natty was looking to go and looked like Natty was trying to shoot, and I was just like, oh, no, you ain't doing that on me. You know, you got a girl who went against Minoru Suzuki and told him to not hold back and beat the shit out of her in the ring. Yeah, that's one tough broad, and I won't want to fuck with her on a good day, let alone a bad day if you piss her off. But decent enough match. Asuka got the win. She did the Asuka lock. Afterwards, she cut a promo, started screaming and yelling in Japanese, which, God bless, the angrier she yells like that, the more you just can't help but get like them hard eyes, like. But in straight plain English, she said point blank, Becky Lynch, I want a rematch for the Raw Women's title. Becky came out, said, you want it? You got it. So next week we're getting at Becky versus Asuka, round 3, this time for the title again. And, Well, yeah, this time for the title again. Botch! So yeah. Now we come to main event of the night. Seth Rollins versus Ricochet versus Bobby Lashley. And the winner of this triple threat match will get to go against Brock Lesnar for the world title at Super Showdown, the next Saudi Arabia show. And I go over this every time the Saudi shows come up. Everyone wants to say that, you know, Vince is taking blood money, this, that, and the other. You know, the Saudis shouldn't do this, they shouldn't have made this deal and all that. Here's the thing. A lot of people say that, you know, they want to bring Western culture over to the Middle East in a way, you know. Now, obviously, we ain't talking about, like, you know, low riders and girls wearing hoochie shorts or nothing, but, you know, they want to bring shit over like that. They want to introduce more Western culture. Okay, well, pro wrestling. Small things like this build up. Like I said the last time, because at the last Saudi show, they finally had the first women's match ever in Saudi Arabia. You know, before that, we got history done with Renee Young getting to do commentary. It's evolution. Sometimes you have to take one step backward to move 2 steps forward. You don't have to like it. And again, I stress this all the time. Especially to the fuckheads that intentionally sit and watch WWE just to shit on it. Why the fuck you gonna watch it if you don't like it? Seriously. I mean, I'm a diehard baseball fan. I fucking love the Philadelphia Phillies. They are my team. But when the Phillies are doing bad and I get pissed, I turn the game off. You know? If I don't like a movie, I turn it off. If I don't like a show, I turn it off. If I don't like a book, I don't read it. If you don't like the show you're watching, turn it off. It's really that simple. But no, those people that want to constantly watch the show just to intentionally shit on it are, honest to God, the biggest fans. They want to go and rip on the super fans, you know, by all means, go ahead. They're just open with their fandom. You, on the other hand, can't even admit that you are. So yeah, now that got the blow up at the beginning of the show and the end of the show. I think that's a first. Now, with that said, as far as the match goes, good action, you know. Fairly decent action, you know. Ricochet, he took a lot of the heavy bumps, which was expected considering he was the smallest guy out of all of them. And at one point, Buddy and AOP came out. They started beating up on Ricochet and Lashley to help even up the playing field for Seth. Then out came Kevin Owens and Eric from the Raiders. They wound up scaring off Murphy and AOP. The fact that Ivar wasn't there is telling me they're either really sticking to the story or he or he is really hurt. Either way, again, really hope for nothing but the best on this. You know, these guys work their asses off. I've seen them in Ring of Honor work their asses off from Ring of Honor until now. Really just hope for nothing but the best. But fairly decent enough match, you know. Match came to an end when Ricochet and Lashley did a superplex to Rollins off the top rope. Next thing you know, Rollins, so much pain, rolled out of the ring. Ricochet capitalized though, wound up going up to the top, hit Lashley with a 630, got the 1, 2, 3. That was it. So it is official. Ricochet versus Brock Lesnar at Super Showdown. And just at the 3 count, Brock Lesnar came out of nowhere and boom, attacked Ricochet, hit him with an F5, and then it ended with Lesnar holding his title up in glory. And so, yes, they sent the fans home mad, which, okay, yeah, let the heel have heat, let the show end hot like that, let it end with the fans being mad over it, because then that just makes them want to go and drive in more, seeing, ooh, what's the hero going to retaliate with next week. So, that is it for this week's show, folks. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure y'all look for me on that Twitter, Tim Vicious. Also on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. Thank you to contributor to the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. It's a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, big thank you to my executive producer, Ali Rewind, who provided the music for this week's show. It's out there on iTunes, Spotify, and such. Details are down below. You want one of these sweet Ali Rewind shirts? Hit me up and I'll type in a man for you. Or if you got that Facebook gimmick, also look him up on there. He Enriquez. Show that man some love and support. Don't forget that all these cool ass cats are right here on the Twitter. Assamug, Kenny Killer, DSB_IB, Diabolica RA, Sergeant Curry Pants, and Gazzy MWP. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck yous.